in to markets that, back in the days of ECW up here in the Northeast, Philadelphia, New York City,
That's gonna be September.
Right, it would be.
Yeah, they're gonna be that. I think they're having a pay-per-view in September in in New York, right?
Yes. At the ballroom.
Yeah, the ballroom. Yep.
Right. So I mean, basically, it's just they're testing the waters right now, and nobody really knows. All these ideas have been floated around, but until you get that Hardcore Justice pay-per-view buy rate, until you see how that pay-per-view caliber impact following the pay-per-view does ratings-wise, and then we'll see what happens, whether they split it up into, like Raw and SmackDown, you'd have TNA, ZCW, whatever they're calling them now, and then you'd have the regular TNA. So, I mean, it's just, it's crazy right now, and to the best of my knowledge, Paul Heyman's not going to be a part of the pay-per-view, but who knows if he has outside interest, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, with the outside interest, he probably does a little bit, but,
I would think so. I mean, Tommy Dreamer and him are such close friends that it wouldn't surprise me, I
mean, the thing, though, me personally, I don't think we're going to see Paul Heyman, in TNA, period, though. I mean, I think Dixie's pretty much, let's say the next few weeks go pretty well. I think she's going to end up giving the spot, not the power, obviously, that Heyman wanted, but the spot that they expected for him to take. I think they're going to give that spot to Tommy Dreamer. I think he's going to become a permanent member of that.
Well, if it's not Heyman booking the ECW product, the next best guy to have there is Dreamer.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean? So for them to have him there, and for them, to have Tommy behind that show, this is how I know that the show is just going to be, for you old school ECW fans, this is going to be one of those pay-per-views where, goddamn, man, I missed that shit back in the day. You know what I mean? God damn, I missed that.
I agree with you. This is what I agree with. Me personally, bro, don't get me wrong. I love DCW, and I'm marking out for it when I go to the pay-per-view because, like I said, I was a fan of it. But really, how many old... I know she did the survey and everything, but I can't see... personally, I just can't... we'll see when the buy rate comes out, but I can't see the buy rate being that high. Even back in its heyday, at its highest point...
It won't be.
ECW, though, I think the highest mark it got, dude, it was like a 1.0, and it was, averaging like a 0.8, even back then when it was popular.
Right.
So, I think it'll be good for them, but in a certain way, I can't see it being this huge revolutionary thing where they're, bringing in tons of fans.
Well, and here's the thing about it. Your fans of ECW back in the day, they were your diehard fans. They would travel from city to city. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it was a very hardcore group of fans that would travel to these shows. And TNA has a fan base, at least in Orlando. They have a fan base similar to ECW. So, and I think a lot of those fans, not necessarily in Orlando, but the fans that follow TNA also followed ECW. So I think TNA already has a lot of those former ECW fans. And what you're talking about is how many more can they draw into their product by bringing these guys back.
Well, if they keep the angle up, which, we're both presuming that they're going to, the smartest thing that they did, I think, honestly, even more smarter than the Hardcore Justice pay-per-view is, like I said, going to the ballroom, dude. Because, that's where ECW was, the Northeast. That's a perfect way to extend their brand into that market.
When I go to New York City for Ring of Honor, they're in the ballroom. Well, they're upstairs. You've got the venue name is the Manhattan Center. And then downstairs on the first floor, you've got the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yeah,
Hammerstein Ballroom. And then upstairs, 7 stories up, you have the Grand Ballroom, which is a little bit smaller. The one downstairs, the Hammerstein Ballroom, is amazing.
That's where they're having it, right?
Right. That's where TNA's doing their show when they come around, their pay-per-view. That's a great venue. The problem, Ring of Honor runs upstairs, and I wish they'd go back, because the Grand Ballroom upstairs has sold out, numerous times, so it must be a lot more expensive to run downstairs. That's the only thing that I can think to why Ring of Honor at least is running upstairs. But the Ring of Honor fans are a group of, if you get for those of you guys that attended the ECW pay-per-views back in the day, I mean, the vulgar chants and Ring of Honor fans it's classic ECW. When you go to Ring of Honor, it's classic ECW. You just don't have all the hardcore stuff. You've got more of the high-flying stuff. Not as much, you know.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Well, you know, it's going to be really interesting, bro, to see, like, I mean, at the pay-per-view and all these, like, you know, events that are on TV, what, you know, what they're going to do when the fans are chanting the ECW, because, you know, that could turn into a big lawsuit that TNA can't afford.
Oh, right.
I mean, that's going to be very interesting to see what they do. I mean, they already cut out the ECW chant in their, you know, the opener for Hardcore Justice.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you really can't. I mean, TNA's defense to that would be you can't stop fans. I mean, fans are going to chant. Fans are going to chant. I mean, do you think WWE likes the fact that every time somebody speaks, every time a heel speaks, people say, what? What? Yeah, I mean, they can't control that, you know?
I know.
So, I mean, TNA's defense to that will be, if WWE goes after them, is, hey, listen.
Can't control the fans.
We can't control. I mean, these people are going to do what they want. I mean, they can go about, they can't use the ECW name, obviously, the ECW letters, but, I mean, as far as the fans are concerned, you know, I mean, well, I mean, it's very easy to edit out a fan chant off an opening video package, you know what I mean? But in a live arena, it's a whole different story, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, as far as, I mean, I put it up on the website today, guys. This will make people happy. The Sandman and Jerry Lynn are backstage at today's TV tapings. Mike Johnson actually reported that earlier today. They are expected to be used tonight in some form, because basically tonight's taping is the go-home edition for the pay-per-view. Not this Thursday, but the following Thursday night, and then you would have the pay-per-view on Sunday. So they are going to do everything in their power to really promote this ECW pay-per-view.
You know, the one thing I could say though is, like, when, you know, the thing I'm excited about though, I guess you could say, is like this whole storyline. I think that, you know, if they do the storyline right, I mean, they could have the potential, you know, potentially have something pretty good right there.
I think it's great, man. I think, I mean, in WWE we've got this Nexus invasion of the Raw talent. I love the angle where, like, the Nexus right now, the Nexus crew they're together. And the Raw crew is in shambles. You know what I mean? And, you know, I mean, the build-up is likely going to be when they go to the pay-per-view, everybody thinks, oh, shit, the Raw crew is fucked, they can't get along, and then they defeat the Nexus and take them out. You know what I mean? That would be the payoff for the pay-per-view. But I love it, man. You've got the Nexus versus TNA, or you've got the Nexus versus Raw. And then you've got the ECW invasion of sorts in TNA, you know?
You want to know what I think's going to happen, though? I don't think it's really going to be an ECW invasion. I think it's going to be a TNA invasion, bro. I think, you know, I think if they play it right, I'm feeling like, you know, since Jerry Lynn, Sandman's backstage right now, I think that they should really, I mean, this is my own opinion, TNA should really just keep trying to promote this whole ECW thing, promote those guys, and make it look like the TNA younger stars are pissed that, you know, Dixie's taking up their spots, and then once the show comes,
I love it.
TNA should invade ECW show.
I love it. It. You know, and even if they don't do separate shows, you would have, you know, they would do this Hardcore Justice pay-per-view, and then, you know, maybe on the Impact following the pay-per-view, you have these TNA guys come out and say, you know what, fuck this, man. Fuck this shit. You guys are coming in, you're trying to run your own pay-per-views, all ECW. Screw this. We've been here longer than you. You're all a bunch of old has-beens, da-da-da-da-da. And then you do an angle TNA versus ECW, and that keeps, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing isn't it also, you know, right there, it's going to throw in those guys in the spotlight in the main event, you know, guys that already should still be there that have been taken out, like Samoa Joe, you know, AJ Styles.
Wally's 76er in the chat says Chris is greater than Paul Heyman, huh?
I mean, I ain't even asking for full control, Dixie.
Look at you typing in the chat, huh? Look at you typing in the chat.
I know, right, man? I'm just saying, Dixie, I ain't even asking for full control, baby.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. I'll tell you right now, me or you couldn't book fucking 1 week worth of shows, man. We couldn't do it.
Oh, my God. I don't think I could have, I wouldn't, you know, I'd die just from how much time they got to put in.
I'll say this, man. I can come on here, right? I can come on here on live radio, and I can shit all over the product, right? I can say WWE sucks, this angle sucked. I couldn't do any better myself. I'll freely admit that.
I mean, and the thing that really, if you think about it, people bash people, but how they said Kevin Sullivan had that whole 1-year plan.
Right.
That's freaking amazing. He already has a 1 year in advance. Holy shit.
I mean, that's creative minds, man. Or the people that, movie producers, bro. These people that make movies. And I'm not talking, part 2, part 3. I mean, these guys write fucking scripts. Movie scripts.
Oh, without a doubt.
Full 3-hour-long movie scripts, and that's basically what WWE does, but on a weekly basis. I mean, to a certain extent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, I told you last week, man. The thing with WWE, the one thing I'm really against, man, is I can see making changes, week to week, little changes here and there, man. But I think they're living on the edge, man. I think it's dangerous writing it week to week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, plans are constantly changing. TNA has more of a long-term direction than WWE's creative team. I mean, WWE goes week to week. We talked about it last week, where the creative team goes home over the weekend, they exchange emails back and forth, and then they arrive at Monday Night Raw on Monday during the morning hours, and then put together a final script, and then eventually they post it on what they call the board backstage, and everybody gets they put it up on a board, and then everybody gets a script of they get a manila folder with their script. And then there's the stuff that's up on the board as well. So, yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
Some people in the chat room, some of them are kind of making fun of Russo a little bit. But like I said, I'm not the biggest Russo fan. But I gotta say, he's doing an excellent job with the writing right now, and especially since the fact that Hogan and Bischoff aren't there to help him.
But people don't. I mean, the people that are gonna hate Russo and the people that are gonna hate TNA are. I mean, whatever TNA does, okay? I mean, we've talked about this before, bro. Triple H, the whole fucking Raw roster could come over there and they could rename it TNA, and people aren't going to shit on TNA just because it has, you know what I mean? It's just those types of people. So, I mean, hey, you guys know me, man. Call me a mark. Whatever. Here's another funny thing, right? All these people in the chat room say, oh, you're a mark for TNA, you're a mark. Oh, you motherfuckers are marks for WZR Radio, you son of a bitches. I see you here at 8 o'clock every Tuesday night, you motherfuckers. Right?
Yep. Yeah, oh, yeah, man. It's always packed. Always packed.
Ooh, son of a bitches. No.
I know, right?
Go to the live chat room, guys. www.WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. Get in there. We've got lots and lots of people. We haven't done chat shout-outs here in a few weeks, so we're going to do that tonight as well. We're going to get out of here about 10 minutes early because Rob has to set up for NXT, some stuff going on there. So we get out of here. I forgot last week. Didn't give Rob any time and kind of fucked him on that. So we're going to get out of here 10 minutes early tonight. That'll give you some time to get ready for NXT and all that good stuff. I got Impact spoilers as well. Nice. We're going to have those in hour number 2. As far as WWE spoilers are concerned tonight, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I think Texas is 2 hours? 3? 2?
I think it's only 2. Yep. 2.
I think it's Central. Right. So 2 hours behind us. So I'm